Hello, hello. I shaved. I look amazing. You're welcome. But I wanted to do a good southern staple tonight that's actually a lot cheaper to make than most people think. They see it as this like big decadent like dinner when I promise you it is not. It is one of the easiest things to make. It takes about 30 minutes of actual work in the kitchen, and then you're going to be cooking for about, have your oven going for like another 20 to 30 minutes or so. So, yeah. Hey, Cindy. But yeah, chicken pot pie is one of the easiest things like on the planet to possibly make. Like, let's just get started, and I'll show you guys how it's done. One thing before we go, I did want to say the mixture of vegetables that you use are entirely up to you. I'm using peas and carrots because I had peas and carrots from the fried rice I did the other night. I'm using the rest of those. I have potatoes, so that's 3 right there. And I have celery and onion. So that's 5 veggies I'm putting into my chicken pot pie. And they all actually work incredibly well. If you want to leave one of those out, triple one of them, do whatever you want to do. But if you're going to do the potatoes, I do recommend parboiling them first. Because if not, they're not going to cook in the oven. Like, it's not really going to be a thing. So we're going to chop those up. We're going to get those going in a pot of water that I have going right here. Hey, Haley. And then we are going to start chopping up and frying up everything else while our chicken is going. So, let's go. Okay. Let's get those out of the way. For your taters, you want to cut them, you want everything to be pretty uniform. So cut everything into like small diced chunks. I'm actually going with the size of basically a pea. Simply because I'm using the frozen peas and carrots. Because they're in my freezer, and if I don't use them, I'm never going to use them. So I need to use them. Hey, Roxanne. But you want to start by cutting your potatoes basically into fries. Just what y'all see here. With just a few quick cuts, I basically made French fries. Like, not hard. And you take them, square them all up, and cut them into smaller pieces. You can peel them if you want. I don't really see the point for a dish like this. That's a preference kind of thing. I like potato skin. It's never like bugged me at all since I became an actual adult. So, but I wasn't one of those kids who would eat every morsel of potato out of my baked potato as a child and would not touch that skin because it was god awful. Yeah, like most kids. But as you grow up, your tastes do change. Cutting some more fries real quick. And again, if you want to stop there, you have fries. I just recommend soaking them in cold water to get some of the starch off before you fry them off. Again, my pot is not on yet. You never heat your water for your potatoes because you want it to come to temperature with the potatoes in it. This way it doesn't like leave the inside completely raw and the outside completely, done. Or the outside all the way cooked. And just mushy. Turn that on high. I should have, yay, Cass! Some salt in the taters. I'm gonna go ahead and get my chicken on. Some butter in the pan. Because this is a southern dish, we're gonna use butter. I've got some chicken thighs here. You can use thighs, breasts, whatever you have. Doesn't really matter. Again, I prefer thighs because they're going to be cooked on the stovetop and then they're going to go into the oven. Which, speaking of, why not preheat my damn oven? I think 425 is the setting the biscuits need. I'm like 90% on that. 450. Oh wow, not even done yet. I am going to make the biscuits again. Again, recipe will be below. And I want to put them on top and bake the whole thing off that way. I do expect some, you know, I expect a good bit of spillage kind of thing. There's another great way around that. I'll show you guys when the time comes. But as of now, I'm waiting on my pan to heat up. I'm going to use this dish to hold my chicken pot pie. So I'm going to go ahead and start cutting up my veggies, waiting on my pan to get hot for my chicken. You want like uniform bite-sized pieces. The more uniform they are, the more they cook evenly. You don't want one piece of celery to be a complete piece of mush and the other to still have some crunch. You want everything to be the same way. Texture is a big deal when it comes to food, especially to me. I cannot... I've used the term texturally displeasing about 100,000 times describing a dish. Like, it tastes great, but the texture is just, ugh. Yeah, can't do it. Can't do it. But I got my 2 stalks of celery. There we go. And these are raw vegetables going into a dish that is going to be used to cook everything anyway. So with raw veggies, there's no real chance of cross-contamination. And honestly, you're stuck in the house. I know you ain't got shit else better to do than to do dishes, but why make extra work on yourself, you know? Like, let's not. Let's just not. Got my pan, and that butter going. Okay. Just peel these onions now. God, I hate peeling onions. Still waiting on that intern to come in. Hey Nancy, I'm peeling onions. I'm going to use 2 small or like 1 large. Again, I'm still working through that bag I bought. That was the last bag they had, so I got all smalls. But onion's still onion. I ain't mad at it. But yeah, if y'all have any questions about anything, please, of course, let me know. If I don't know the actual answer, I will fake a great one, trust me. I'm an amazing bullshitter. And I hope everyone's quarantine's going okay. Well, not really quarantine here. It's more like a, you should probably stay home. Kind of an order from our governor. So. Chicken's done. Get our trusty tongs. Oh yeah, that sizzle. Sizzle means color. Why are you being an asshole? Again, thighs hold up better to cooking, like for the heat kind of thing. Breasts tend to dry out pretty quickly. So I do prefer to use thighs. And since these are technically going to be cooked twice, they're going to be cooked on top of the stove to make sure they're cooked. Then they're going to get tossed in with the sauteed veggies and everything. They're going to be able to hold their juiciness and their meatiness when they go in the second time. So our taters have officially come to a boil. Why the fuck did I cut it that way? I'm making my life harder. I don't know where the hell my head is right now. Do these line up at all? Okay. I cut my onion fucking stupid. But I quartered it. I have no idea why I would ever quarter an onion. Like if I'm roasting it off or something, sure, but I'm specifically putting these in a pot pie. They do not need to be remotely quartered. But whatever. I can still make this work. They're just going to be cut a little bit weird, but they're going to be covered in a nice thick creamy sauce, and nobody's going to know anyway. So we got the chicken in here, a little bit of salt on top. And actually, since we're going real southern with it, I'm going to use just like some regular old black pepper. This is that Dollar Tree shit. Nothing remotely fancy here, y'all. You don't need to go fancy to have an amazing meal. Taters, looking good. Get this other onion real quick. That's gonna do it. Have these like this just to make my life a little bit easier. By the time I'm done with the veggies, the potatoes should be done. We don't want to cook them all the way. We don't want them to be mashed. We're not mashing these potatoes. We want to be able to hold up. We don't need words are hard. We want to be able to keep some of the body they have. Like I want not a bite, but when you get a piece in your mouth, like ooh, potato. Like it's gonna give and it's gonna bend to my will, of course. But I want to be able to know that it's there. I think tomorrow night will be Indian, actually. I'll do that tikka masala that pretty much got me on Master Chef. And when I do my next audition, I will do the damn tikka masala again. Oh no, that's a winner. Okay. Veggies are done. Potatoes. Let's investigate a potato. See where they are. Okay. You can't really see it, but the outside is starting to go translucent. Which, yeah, they're good. Pour those out. Give the pan a quick little rinse. Get all that starchiness off. Look, missed a bit. Put that right back on the heat. And it is now time to turn our chicken. Hey Jenny, hey Michael. Turn this chicken. Hell out of my way. A little bit of salt. My old school black pepper. Okay, pan's dry. Take that off the heat just for a second. Now I've got another stick of butter in the freezer waiting. Right here. I need 6 tablespoons of butter for the biscuit recipe, so I'm going to cut 2 tablespoons off and use that to saute my veggies. I'm turn this down because it's way too loud. Loud, too high. Saute my baby. Melt, melt, melt. This is a heavy bottom pan, too. So this one's good. You can see the line in the pan there, like right along here. This actually, heavy bottom pan will hold the heat. It's great. This is not a non-stick pan. I use this one, like if you can see on the inside, it's not a non-stick pan at all. I use this one for a lot of different sauces and things that I know I'm going to have to put like an immersion blender in. Because you put an immersion blender into a pan that is non-stick, it's going to rip up the non-stick. Like, they do not make immersion blenders with silicone molds in the bottom to protect your pans. Because fuck your pans. Okay, there we go. Now in with all of my veggies. Carrots, onions, celery, and peas. Taters are still chilling out. We're going to let those cool down over in the colander on the sink. So we won't have to worry about them. We're going to toss those in at the end. Hey, Tiff. I'm still sorry I missed you in New York. Like, I feel like we actually passed each other on the street at one point. 2 tablespoons of butter was plenty for this. Break up your onions if they're trying to be little assholes. A little salt, a little pepper. And a little more. Also, when I'm done with the chicken, I'm going to pour the chicken fat in here too, because I'm not going to waste that beautiful chicken grease. Like, that is pure fucking flavor, and you are not to waste that under any circumstances. We'll set the chicken in a bowl again to rest. And again, if you're worried about cross-contamination, the damn bowl is going into the oven at 450 degrees for 425 or whatever it is for like half an hour. Trust me, it's cooked. I would not give you guys bad advice. Where are my tongs? Yeah, it was like freaking crazy, dude. Got that good color, both sides. Oh yeah. Now again, you want to let all the meat rest, because if you don't, when you cut into it, you're going to lose all those juices immediately. That is not something that you want. But keep all my grease. Scrape those little chicken bits and bobs in there too. Oh yeah. Set this frying pan aside, somewhere it can cool down naturally. Don't try to cool your pans down any faster. If you put your pans like under cold water to cool them off or something, you will warp your pan. That's why a lot of the pans get a little bubble like in the dead center, where if you pour like a pancake batter or something, it kind of starts spreading out real quick and the outside's thicker than the inside. It's because you fucked up your pan. You can still use it, it's just, you know weird ass pancakes. Or don't use that pan for pancakes. Simple as that. Okay, now, while this is going, I want to give this a couple of minutes. Let's go ahead and get started on the biscuits. Let's get a bowl. I want to get a bigger bowl. I'm tired of making fucking messes. Everybody got one of these bowls. So, cutting board and knife away, but not gone. We are still going to use those, because I'm going to have to cut up my chicken in a couple minutes. What am I looking for? Ah, that's what I'm looking for. Handy dandy cheese grater to grate my butter into my bowl. Where's my measuring cup? I fucking had it earlier. Ah, already had it out. Go me. Oven's ready. So we need 2 cups of flour. I might just use half of the butter of the biscuit mixture, simply because I want to see how well it freezes. Again, this is not my recipe for the biscuits. I will link them down below. Best biscuit recipe I found, period. So I am happy to share them and talk about them. They are freaking phenomenal. I don't know how they feel about being associated with me, but I ain't got no choice at this point. Hey, Megan. Is that Megan or Megan? I can't take a picture too small. Okay. Give this a good stir. How low are you? You can turn you down a little bit lower. Okay. Sticks. All of our dry ingredients first before we add the buttermilk and before, I have them for a quarter teaspoon. Fuck yeah. Before we add the buttermilk and everything, I want to get all the dry ingredients in there. Quarter teaspoon baking soda, tablespoon baking powder, salt, that's good. And it needs sugar. I don't know why I'm putting sugar in biscuits. I'm not arguing because the shit works. I don't ask questions when I know I'm gonna get amazing results. So, oh yeah. Oh my god, you guys, this smells so good already. Oh. We're gonna add even more chicken flavor too. That's what the stock cube is for. Give me a fork. Mix all this up. Want to incorporate my dry into my dry as best I can. Done with you. Done with you. Okay. Remember, this butter was in the freezer. The colder it is, the better. If you want to actually mix your dry ahead of time and throw that shit in the freezer for about 10-15 minutes, I'm not mad at you. Because it'll work. It'll work great. But working as quickly as you can and as safely as you can. Don't fuck yourself up for some biscuits. Like, I can feel it like grazing against my skin right now. And I'm like, no, time to turn the butter. Because this is a buttermilk biscuit, not a blood biscuit. I don't know if those were a thing, but being that Scotland is a country, blood biscuits are probably a fucking thing. They eat like haggis and stuff. I've never had haggis. I'm down to try it. Like, the Anglophile in me is curious, but the white in me is strong. The black in me is stronger. Hey, Nia. So, we got our butter mixed in here. Now I'm going to add my fork to really get it in there. I'm using the fork because of my hot little hands. I want to try to break the butter up with the tines of the fork. Let's give this another quick stir. Oh yeah, that's just about where we want it to. So. Break up the chunks as absolute best you can, because you really want to get everything as incorporated as possible. See, the fork's a little dirty, but not too dirty. Now we're going to add our buttermilk. It's 3/4 of a cup. Right? Yeah, I got the ingredients, like the recipe pulled up right behind me. Yeah. Because last time I wasn't sure, and I ended up adding too much. Well, actually, I was 100% right the first time. But I was like, I don't think that's right. Ah. And I fucked it up. So. Turn you off just for now. Get in with your fork. After your buttermilk's in here, and get it all good and mixed up together. you're going to see it's going to be a bunch of big, like, super dry spots and some super wet spots. Just mix them up and push them in together. You don't want to work it too hard, but you've got to make sure that you break up all those super wet spots. Now, notice before in the past it said to add to like a floured surface. I've always had enough flour in here that I didn't need to do that, so I don't. If you want to put this on a floured surface, like put a little bit of flour on your board or your counter before you do this, be my guest. I don't think it's really necessary. But I've never seen a recipe that just said, like, you know, turn out and call it a fucking day. They all said flour board. So, but now that's done. See, I can still feel it in my hands. My hands are hitting like wet spots and the dough's trying to stick to me. So, it's still going to be crumbly. You're just going to bring it together like a nice cohesive dough. Try to go in like a square shape, like a rectangle kind of thing. Flatten it out. Oh yeah, this is looking nice and shaggy. Fold that over. Turn. Fold. You can bring in your rolling pin at this point if you want. I don't really see the point. Like, I just want it to be like, you know, I wouldn't mind it a little bit uneven. It gives a little bit more rusticness to it. But trust me, every Southern woman in the past 100 years has had her a rolling pin. That's one that knows how to make biscuits, or one that's married. Because there's nothing else, a good ass weapon if your husband starts acting up. That and a cast iron. You meet a woman with a cast iron and a rolling pin, you don't fuck with her. Because she knows what they're both for. Her damn husband knows what the hell they're both for, too. Because he done got that cast iron inside his head one good damn time. But he only did it once. Usually. I've heard stories. But I grew up in the South, so of course I've heard stories. Okay. Now, that's looking phenomenal. Let me get a pan. Excuse me, doggy. I'm going to transfer this to a baking pan. And I'm going to put it in the freezer. Because I've still got about 5 or 10 minutes before I actually get it ready, like, and break it out to use it. So I want to make sure, once again, all of the ingredients in the biscuit stay as absolutely cold as possible. I've got several people messaging me. Y'all, I can't see this right now. I'm busy. Flour right in with the veggies. What? Unless you want to make it ruin a separate damn pan. You know, help be my guest. I got shit to do. Should be a little bit of residual heat on here, enough to help us get it all nice and mixed. Yeah. That's actually drying out the bottom of the pan too and getting those little fond bits up. Oh yes. Because remember, the bottom of the pan, the fond is nothing but like pure flavor that so many people try to throw away. Then you go out to a restaurant, like a nice place, and you're like, oh my god, what is that flavor? Oh, why doesn't my chicken taste like this? Because we scrape the bottom of the damn pan. It's also why my husband prefers my cooking to most restaurants. That or he's lying to me because he loves me. Either way, I'm good. Yeah, this is still plenty hot. I can hear it sizzling already. But we're going to turn the heat back on this. Get this a little bit cooked. We basically want to get that raw flour taste out. So, hello. Let's get some water. It's about a cup. I'll drop our stock cube in it. And we're gonna microwave the shit out of this. We still not eating this cake. I gotta toss this damn cake. It's never gonna get it. It's not good. Like, I don't understand why it's not good, but it's not good. Neither of us really cared for it. I probably have some more tonight just because I really don't want to toss it. But you know how it goes. Okay, now when this looks closer to dog food than human food, you're pretty much done. Get your milk. Good splash. Oh yeah. Bubble, bubble. A whisk works great here. Once again, we've already fucked up this, so why are we going to add something else? I have to get something though, because this isn't scraping the bottom of this pan the way I need it to. Here we go. Get the OXO. Yeah, baby. How you doing? Yeah. Turn the heat down. This is basically a real thick sludge right now, but we want to keep it moving, keep it mixing, because we've got the flour that covered everything. Some of that chicken stock from the stock cube. Any brand you have will work. I think this is a Knorr. They were mispriced one day when I was doing my grocery order online, and I got it for like 10 cents a box, so I got like 4 boxes. I think I ordered like 10, but they only had like 4. So I can still see this cube sitting here at the bottom. So I'm going to put my fork in here. Give that a real good mix. So I want it out. Come and join the party. There we go. Okay, now that's looking nice and rich. You were just not scraping the bottom of this pan today. I gotta break out the wood. Apparently I do. That's fine. We're going real old school Southern with this. We're gonna get the wooden spoon out and scrape the bottom of our pan. Because I'm not leaving all that flavor in there. Times are tough. Okay, that's coming up way better. This is real thick. I want it to be a little on the thin side, simply because it's going to go into the oven to bake and it's going to lose liquid that way. And I'll let it cook for like another 5 or 10 minutes up here too, because I'm about to start chopping up the chicken over here. I want everything pretty much the same size. Working to get that fond up. There we go. Okay, gonna go ahead and add our taters. And the leftover starch, there's not a lot of starch in the potatoes right now because they were boiled. A lot of it escaped. But the leftover starch in the potatoes will thicken it up some too. When you're cooking, you've got to think of all of your ingredients and how they're going to work together as a whole. Like, this is a little too thin to serve. But again, just a couple more minutes on the stove while I chop up my chicken. Okay, let's give it a taste. Wooden spoon never failed me. Love it. Okay. That's good. Need a little seasoning. With the peas and the carrots in there, so it's definitely adding a sweetness to it. I want to counterbalance that to make it more savory. Put my pepper all the way up. and back. Lots of black pepper. And again, the only seasoning we used in this entire dish, other than, you know, the veggies, was salt and pepper. So, you know, shoot Bedu. Sorry, I'm old. Or actually, no, I'm not sorry. That was fucking funny. So. Oh my god. L to the F. Done with this. I'm gonna have a giant slice of this cake tonight, just because I'm tired of it sitting in there, not getting used. Okay, quick little splash of buttermilk into our cup, because remember, we're gonna coat the top of the biscuits with some buttermilk, because that's what the recipe says to do. So that's what the hell we're doing. The people over at Live Well Bake Often, oh, I hate that word, often. But the people over at Live Well Bake Often have decided that you should put buttermilk on top of it. And I'm not arguing. I know it's going to be amazing. So I'm doing what the hell they say. Again, not my recipe. Will be listed below. It'll be on the YouTube. I sound like I'm 170 fucking years old. It'll be on the YouTube as well. Let's get our chicken over here. Start chopping this up into like bite-sized pieces. Toss it right in. So is everybody's quarantine going okay? Hey, Billy. Now, when y'all join the video like in progress, does it make you start from the beginning, or can you just see it like where it is now? I honestly don't know. First chicken thigh. Take it down a little bit more. It's bubbling more than I would care for it to be bubbling. With a good stir. Just because there's a lot of things in here that can try to stick, and you definitely do not want them to stick. Again, we want everything to be about the same size. Don't forget we have that amazing biscuit dough in the freezer because I want it fucking cold. The colder it is, the better it cooks. When cold butter hits, like when the heat from the oven hits the cold butter, it tries to melt. But it can't because it has to evaporate. Because the water, the air in it is, the air around it is way too hot. So it goes straight past melting to evaporation. That's what gets you those amazing, like, flaky layers and the holes in it. And you're just like, oh my god, the amazingness that is like the fucking biscuits. Stir, stir, stir. So I just want to make sure nothing's sticking. And it is definitely thickening up too. But it goes straight past that to evaporation, which makes it nice and, you know, flaky and delicious and yum. As opposed to room temperature butter, which mixed in with the flour and stuff, if that hits the hot, it has way less traveling to do to become nice and, what is it? Become nice and melted, so it just starts to fucking melt. Hi, Robert. Where is it now? Well, shit, yeah, I am actually on pretty early. So, I don't even know what time it is. Did the power go out again? Yeah, what is it, 7:10 or 7? Yeah, 7:10, literally right in front of me. Well, Robert, we're actually almost done. I'm just... I started early tonight because this is going to take some time to bake. I want to give it at least half an hour in the oven. So, but everything's in this one big ass pot. Take all my accumulated chicken juices, put those right back in there. Because again, do not throw away flavor. The hell is wrong with people? Like, ew, shut up and eat it. Stick you a biscuit in there or something. Stop that shit up. White people. Damn. Ugh. So you know how white people fucking get to me. And their bullshit. Do I need this fork again? Well, I dropped it anyway, so probably not. Let's open it. Okay. Got our biscuit dough. Still nice and cold. How hot are you? Okay. So, too hot. Put that back there. Gonna go ahead. Actually, do it over here. You go off. Is that off? No, that's off. Okay. Pour my, what I'm just now realizing is way too fucking much chicken pot pie into my pie pan or my casserole dish, whatever the fuck this thing's called. It's like a pie thing, but it has really high edges. So, that there. This is a nice consistency. It's a little bit thinner than I would prefer it to be. But again, it's about to go in the oven. So, we're not too mad at it. Now, bring this over here. I mean, I can set it on that burner. It's fucking tempered glass. But, you know, whatever. I'm going to try to get a circle out of this. As circly as I can. I love this, what's this called? A rolling pin. Because it is a marble rolling pin, and the marble rolling pins are great because they do not hold heat. They're like, hey, what's that? Heat? Fuck that. We got things to do. So. Oh yeah, I can see the flakes of butter in here. Oh my God. A circle, it's not going to happen. But I'm thinking I can get a big, I think I'm just going to lift it up and coat the whole damn thing. Brush it and slide it in. So, let's see. Go around all the edges first. Okay, cool. Cover the entire pan. Alright, alright. Let's get this off the stove and onto the counter. Now I want to work as quickly as I can here. Shaving off all the excess around the edges. Now that's pretty tight in the center there, so stab, stab. And the pan that we had it on in the freezer, we're putting that pan on there, because this is easier to lift. Oh, Nike. Forgot about this stuff. And also, if this does happen to overflow, which is entirely possible, then the pan will catch the drippings and they won't end up in your oven. They can end up in your sink or your dishwasher. Wherever the hell you do dishes. Down by the creek. I don't fucking know you people. You do you. Not going to use that other salt this time. A little salt on top. And into the oven she goes. It is 7:15. Perfect. So I will check that in about 20. Where did all you people come from? Like it's basically done now, and you're all just suddenly here. Hi, Victoria. Hi, Dawn. Dunn. I don't know how to say your name. Donnie. I don't know how to say your name. There's an accent mark beside the E. I don't know if that's an apostrophe or not. Okay, whatever. Hello. How are you? But yes, that just went into the oven at 450. I'm going to give it at least 20 minutes. I'll check it in 20 minutes. But I'm thinking it's probably going to need about 25 to 30. But I'm going to go ahead and kill this for now. Thank y'all very much for watching. If y'all have any questions or anything, post them in the comments below. Do check out YouTube. Everything is uploaded there now as well. Or it's like, I think 8 or 9 of these quarantine cooking shows are on there right now. But yes, thank y'all again. And tune in tomorrow night because I'm going to be doing the chicken tikka masala that got me on MasterChef, basically. So, I'm tired. I need a glass of tea and probably a cigarette. But thank y'all for watching.